Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve.
Yes, and we are here on that, bringing perspective to news, bringing real good insights. Good afternoon, good morning, good day to you wherever you are. My name is Matt Godwin Iweajua, and you're welcome to our Friday SSM World Affairs. And joining me as usual are my colleagues, Ogbeni Olayinka Raji from Lagos, Nigeria. You're welcome.
Good morning, Mark. Good morning, viewers across the world. Welcome to our Friday program as usual.
Yes.
Interesting perspectives.
Interesting perspective, Raji. Interesting one. And hopefully we have a lot to do today. Raji, how is it? How is it in Lagos today? What's happening?
Well, Lagos is calm. There's not much activity. Lagos is calm. It's cool. No upheavals, nothing. Everything is calm.
No upheavals, nothing. But the smallpox, the monkeypox situation, we're hearing that story of the monkeypox outbreak again. What is it like? What's the story?
Well, it's still very, very low. There have been reports of monkeypox and then some upsurge in cholera infections. But I think the government is aware and is on its toes. Yes.
The government is aware on the toes. Okay, Raji. Let's take your updates because you're on ground. You're there with them. Viewers, you're welcome. You're welcome once again. It's good to be with you on another day like this, the 16th day of August 2024. Okay, Raji, I don't know. Let's begin with some follow-up news. Some follow-up news from last time. One of it is that our president is right about now still in Equatorial Guinea. Yes, President of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is in Equatorial Guinea meeting with the president there. That's what's that his name again? Obiango, President Obiango of Equatorial Guinea. Now, I did some little editorial on that trip, and I said, what are the gains? What do we stand to gain visiting a country that is endowed with so much natural resources, a country that should be one of the richest in the world, but the people are living below poverty line, and the man has been there since 1979, Obiango. So what can a leader? What can somebody want to? What do you stand to gain? I mean, mutual partnership. If I have an interest in you, it is probably to gain some knowledge, so I can't be working with somebody that I know doesn't do too well. It's not been, no progressive thing about Equatorial Guinea, Raji. So Raji, what's your view on this? What do you think?
I don't want to hazard a guess, but I think that our country's interest in Equatorial Guinea may be because of its oil and the fact that we may need some oil for our own local energy fuel production, and therefore Equatorial Guinea is close enough to us for us to be able to get to them and get oil from them at some good rate. I think so, and I think there was a report of a gas agreement between the two of them. I don't know how much Nigerian gas is going to help Equatorial Guinea in their poverty. But I think there must be something. But you should recall that there has been a relationship between Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, and Nigeria for a very long time, and those two countries probably supported Biafra in those days, and took a lot of Biafran refugees.
Yes, in that you are talking from that makes sense, but from a different perspective,
from a different angle. Yes, yes,
different point of view. The gas thing, we heard about it, but is it not ridiculous that we are going out to source for gas, or we're going out to source for petrol, crude oil?
No, I don't think we are going out to source for gas, because Nigeria is actually a gas island. I think what could be happening with, that's why I'm saying that I don't know how much our supply of gas to Equatorial Guinea will be of benefit to us, unless we want to play Big Brother and want to help Equatorial Guinea. I really don't know the economic importance of that visit, and they are going to be and the president is going to be there for 3 days. I don't see much economic gain for us, except Equatorial Guinea is going to gain a lot from us. Yes.
For us, no much gain, or maybe somebody jokingly said, I think that was you, our president wants to learn the formation of staying that long in power.
No, but that would be quite different, because Equatorial Guinea, the population of Equatorial Guinea is probably less than 2 million compared with
2 million people, 1.999 something. That's correct.
Compared with 210 million of us here. No, it will be impossible for him to
want to do that. Anyway, that's it. So the follow-up. Let's do some more follow-up. Yes, remember the Bangladesh protest and everything, the way it went. A Nobel Peace Prize laureate, Mohammed Yunus, is now, he's now their interim leader for now. And do you think he will use his vast exposure, enlightenment, and everything to change things for Bangladesh?
What he won the Nobel Prize on was the formation of microcredit.
Okay.
In fact, he's reputed to be the father of microfinance in the world. Yes. Okay. And he started that process in Bangladesh, and the effect was vast, and deep. Yes, but then when a country is poor and policies are not here to improve the economics of the country, for as long as the country is going to take loans, instead of living within its means, then I don't think no amount of economic improvement at the macro level will help the whole country, because the whole country is in debt.
In debt. Roger, let's bring in our big brother, our senior man, Sir George Chukwu from Toronto, Canada. Sir George, it's good to see you.
Good morning, Mike Godwin, and good morning, Like Garaji. Welcome viewers from around the world.
Yes.
Yes.
We miss you, Sir George. What's happening? The holidays? You're over enjoying the holidays. You're
It was,
over enjoying the holidays.
I was
Sir George.
actually planning to come to that side of the country, but things didn't work out the way. So much engagement locally here, so I wasn't able to make it.
Oh, it's yeah, that would have been fun. Okay, many more time. So
Yes,
we
yes,
missed
yes.
you. You bring beautiful take, and you give us also from your corner. Now, let's do one before we continue. Sir George, are you on with what's happening? Let's get into this discussion altogether. Nigerian government is into a some people will call it brouhaha, a saga, a very, very interesting situation. Our planes, the first thing to be stated is some people didn't know that the Nigerian government has more than 4 private jets, more than 4, and top-notch private jets, not just anyhow. Now, 3 of them are presently being seized by a court order in here back of me here in France, and it's all about some money, something to do with a Chinese company and the Ogun State in southwest Nigeria, Ogun State government, and something that was initiated between the two of them in 2007. So 3 of our private jets is being seized because a court has ordered for this. And the federal government, as at this morning, said they are doing everything to make sure they get it back. But first of all, we're embarrassed. It's a very embarrassing thing. Sir George, I don't know if you're following this. We woke up yesterday and this was on everywhere, even in Europe. European newspaper had it headline in most international websites. So let me start with you, Sir George. What is happening? How can we be involved in this?
We're involved in it simply because one of the major problems that we have is lack of transparency. A government will come in and they will do their own thing, and before they exit, they will never finish up or pass over to the new government whatever that is happening within the government. So this is what you really, have seen. And it's number one is lack of transparency. Number two is, this secrecy that they have, regarding I can do whatever I want and get away with it. And if I'm not going to be here forever, then let me do whatever I can now to gain whatever I can before I exit. The problem with Nigeria is we don't have the culture of maintenance and culture of continuation. One government will come in, the other one will just exit with everything that they have. There is no plan of transferring to the new government. This is where we were, this is what we have achieved. You can continue from this. So you're seeing this embarrassment taking place. Now remember, I continually was warning about the influence of China, especially. China have a very, very an interesting culture, business culture of the government itself. They will do whatever that you want them to do. They have the resources and the money, but they will sign you up on a contract that is going to be, is going to hold you down. And this is exactly what you're seeing. So many countries are indebted to China today. Mm-hmm. They come, whatever you want, they will give you the technological advancement. They will build your railway, build your airport, but sign you up on a contract that is almost impossible for you to be able to meet up with. And they hold you. Once you fail, they will find a way to mortgage your country to themselves and be making money continuously. That is their own modus operandi when it comes to businesses, and it's happening to a lot of Bangladesh. Many of them are indebted, and many of them are unable to continue with increasing in the infrastructure of their countries simply because they're indebted to China. And many of them are paying even now. So what you are seeing is exactly what you will continue to see in the future. Because there are so many, even Ogun State. Can you imagine Ogun State? What is Ogun State doing with their private jets? What business did Ogun State have privately that the national government did not know about for them to be indebted to China for this amount of money to face the kind of international embarrassment. But this is exactly what we've been crying about when we're crying and say, oh, you're crying wolf, you know, nothing good ever comes from Nigeria. But it's not because of Nigeria, it's because of the type of government that we have. So, okay, 2007 up until now, how many years is it? Evidently, whatever contract they signed matured, and the new government might not even know anything about the 2007 government that, you know, that is still in continuation. And then China possibly have been trying to get their money, took them to court, and then all of a sudden there's a judgment against them. So this is what we are talking about in Nigeria. So we really need to wake up, become a little more transparent, and, you know, ensure that everything that is being done, both state level and national level, it is well known, and let it be transferred to the next government so continuation can take place. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, Reggie, when we asked what all of this is about, one of what we got was the presidency media team said the French court was misled to have given the order of authorizing the seizure of those planes belonging to Nigeria. Now, the story, like George said, goes back to 2007. And what they didn't know was there was a written agreement that assets will be seized if they didn't meet up with the condition. Yes, it's in the document. So, Raji, what do you know about this whole thing? Very embarrassing. Very, very.
A certain free zone agreement, and which unfortunately the Ogun State government reneged on. But you know, you have to understand that there seems to be an international conspiracy against Nigeria, because Nigeria itself is a crime scene, and people with criminal intent come into this country, go into agreements that are very, very, very unfavorable to the country, and then when that agreement fails, they go into the international market, international court for arbitration or something or the other. Remember that PNID contract?
PNID, yes.
There was no contract at all. There was nothing, and yet before you know what was happening, they were demanding billions of dollars from Nigeria for a contract that has no life. And before you know what was happening, Nigerian lawyers were trying to defend PNID against their country. Without even, there was no basis for that agreement in the first instance. The agreement, the people came in, they had nothing other than that paper. It is the same thing that have been happening in our petroleum subsidy issue, where a lot of people have been going to collect money just by issuing invoices. And there's no basis for that payment. You know, there's no basis for that payment. So unfortunately, but I don't know how an agreement with the Ogun State government, which does not have the guarantee of the federal government, will now lead to a situation where federal government property will be seized. So Nigeria should be very, very careful that there might be some international conspiracy against us, and then we ourselves should keep our asses clean, so that whenever such issues come, will not be caught short.
Will not
because
be
I
caught
don't
short.
see
Thank
how
you.
federal government, yes, and Ogun State government properties become
yes.
one. Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Raji. Before we continue, let's welcome Dr. Godwin Ibe from Moscow, Russia. Dr. Godwin.
Hello.
Can you?
Mark,
yeah?
Yeah, Mark, you're hanging. I don't think it's from you, but whatever.
No,
thank you so much for having me.
I can see you. I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. Thank you viewers for tuning in. Sorry, I'm on the road today, so please bear with me.
It's okay. We know. I mean, we know how everybody out here gets busy. Yes. George, let me come back to you, George. This also exposed some things. This whole China seizing our plane. it exposed that a lot of people didn't know that, a lot of Nigerians didn't know that we had fleets of presidential jets, and they were also going to add more to that fleet. You remember the Senate saying they will buy for Shetima, they will buy. Now, what are we doing all these planes? What's all this? Money just being stuck into aircraft for nothing, and they keep ordering new ones and new ones. George, you said a lot about this. Before I come to Godwin, what will you say? Because this opened more canker worm. People didn't know we had this number of private jets for the presidency.
You see, when people are crying wolf, 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 like the people are always pointing. When a child is pointing somewhere and crying, either the mom or the dad is going to be there. You know, the government never accepts any responsibility. Number one is the secrecy behind everything. Okay. Recently, we're talking about, transparency. One of the senators yesterday came out and said, we are not earning 1 million naira per month. We're earning 21 million naira per month.
Yeah.
And you're telling me, you see, and one of the major problems we have in our...
I felt his pain.
I
felt his pain.
I know. And one of the major problems we have in Nigeria is this, kind of pact that they have, sectional pact that they have. They protect one another. Recently, a lot of presidents came, former presidents came, to give thumbs up to Asiwaju, with the exception of Babangida and Olusegun Obasanjo. And then somebody is suggesting that, the former president needs to be put in prison. But this is what we're talking about. When a government that never accepts responsibility, but always excuses and insulting people, making sure that anybody that, talks about whatever they're doing wrong, they will either bring that person down. There are no, reasons why things, objectively and reasonable, objective reasons why things ought to be done, but excuses and insults. This is what you see in the government. And then when you see that consistently, that means either they don't know what they're doing, they don't know even the questions why they're trying to give you the answers. And that's one major problem we have in our country. But it is about time for us to come to terms with what is really going on. Okay, what are we doing with so many jets? We have all this fleet of jets and then we want to add more. That's really, really unacceptable. And every now and again, things will happen like this in order to expose the secrets that they're having. It's very, very unacceptable and it's wrong. Very wrong.
Thank you, George. Godwin, obviously you've heard what we're saying. It's a discussion on what just
yes, I heard
very
that.
embarrassing. Yes.
I heard that.
So what's your take on this? Nigerian government has our plane presidential jets have been a Chinese firm says they are taking those assets, and yes, a court in France gave that.
I get it. I don't need to know the other details, honestly. The thing that got me triggered was not the aircraft. There wasn't an aircraft that was the season that got me triggered. What got me triggered was like, how could all these things happen and we don't know and we're just getting to know? And now that we know what will happen. And now that we know what will happen.
Nothing.
Issue, let's nothing. So that's the only part that got me triggered. Look, we in Nigeria, we who are not benefactors of this scheme, and we who want change, and who don't want corruption, we have to come together and speak one voice beyond tribal lines, beyond political party lines, beyond maybe even regional location lines, beyond diaspora location lines, and be speaking one voice that we really want the betterment of our country. And that is the way that we are going to be able to exercise. That is the way the people who really hold the power, which is the military, not the civilians. The military structure, the people who guarantee the democracy. Until everyone is on our side, on one thing, on whatever we are saying. That's the only way we can effect that change. Because every other thing we're saying will just be talks and divide and conquer. Be divided. It's better somebody from our side or somebody who will Many of the people who are complaining, oh, crying wolf now, plain. If one of the ministers cornered them once and I say, look, I'll give you this contract, I'll give you this position. It's the end. They are no more on our side. No more. It's the end. We've lost them. It's like ghastly motor accident. We lost them totally. So the followers themselves who are complaining, plain, are they just looking for a share, or are they looking for the betterment of the country, looking for a real change that will affect that anybody can become somebody? Not the one that if they corner you one side and give you your own share, then the whole matter has died down. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's not when I look at a lot of a lot of the followers who are calling their leaders names, what they themselves are doing, I'm not encouraged. It's not about the planes, about the system that produces such people who behave that way. So it starts from the followers.
I think Dr. Godwin, I beg to disagree with you. It is I think your line of argument is what the government will want to hear. And it is one way of dividing us. End government, end bad government should start with end bad citizens. No, you can't do that. Everything happens from the head. When the head is bad, it will percolate to the bottom. Now, I agree with you that yes, we need to. We all heard it during Buhari's campaign that there were about 10 presidential planes, and that when he gets into power, he's going to convert them to commercial planes. What happened? Okay. Because it seems as if the government is aware, and the people who are in government are.
Right. Let me add something. Okay. You can continue. You said that the thing starts from the head,
go ahead.
But it's wrong. But it's actually wrong. What you just said is wrong. It doesn't start from the head. It starts from the people who vote those people in there. That head was voted in. That head was put in there by somebody. The head wasn't born there by nature.
I agree. I agree.
It starts from the head. It's wrong. It's like chicken and egg situation. Something starts from something. Before, just a few moments ago,
I agree with you. I agree. See,
let's one speak at a time. Olayinka, allow him to finish, then you can respond, please. Thank you. Go ahead, Dr. Godwin.
Yes. So the aim is not to divide. The aim, I'm condemning outrightly the corruption. But I am saying that even if we are aware of the corruption, little will be done until we unite against that corruption. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying there are people who like to say there's darkness. But what are we doing to put light? Are we generating the electricity? Are we facilitating the generation or the transmission or the distribution? What are we doing in our own capacity to make sure that we are not just talking or knowing, but we are doing and infecting that change? That's what I'm saying. I'm not condoning what they are doing in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, Raji, go ahead.
Is it when we go on like this? Is it at the end of the whole discussion will be a lot have been said and hardly anything done? But let us when if you look at the dialectics of the situation, you know that deliberately has the people been divided against themselves. There have been deliberate bastardization of educational system, and it has come on from one point to the other. The moment there was disruption, starting as far back as 1962, the country started getting into very, very muddy waters. So we have come to a situation where, you see, like you said, the chicken and the egg. When did the rain start beating us? And why are we now just realizing that both the people who are being beaten by the rain and those who are under the umbrella come from the same root. We come from the same places. But those who are under the umbrella now are feeling safe because they are now out of us.
Okay.
And the situation has made it so that they can now decide. No.
Yes. I want us to round up with this one.
I know. 1 second though. You see, just in conclusion to both of the, because I agree with Dr. Godwin, and then I agree with Olayinka Raji partially. But the system, the constant system in our government is just deflective, and then they refuse to take responsibility. It's blame shifting type of government, and they don't want you to talk anything about them because they will hammer you with insult to shut you up. Can you imagine our statesman that is respected around the world? When he is saying something, even young people will begin to insult, even in the Yoruba land. Can you imagine that Obasanjo? They will start insulting the man and he's suggesting all kinds of things. You know, we have to have that particular responsibility whereby we still have our culture of respecting elders, not talking about them, especially statesmen. Yeah, you know, the government might have, decided to be this way. But even if he was part of that government and comes out and cleans his eyes and say, well, we have been doing bad, I think we need to go this way. Though that I was involved in this or part and parcel of it, but I believe that if we go this way, it will be better for the future generation. What you will see with the government is deflecting, and what you see is blame shifting. What you see is nothing, no responsibility whatsoever. Insult. We need to stop it in our government.
All right, gentlemen.
That blame shifting you mentioned is we are also practicing that same blame shifting. Let me give you an example. The government, quite all right, they will do blame shifting. But we as also who want that change. I'm not talking about just we on this panel, but all around the scope, all around the landscape. We have to come together and not shifting blame. We are adults. We cannot be putting blame like socialism on the government. There are some things that we can do, and those things that we can do, we also cannot shift it to another person. Whether it's the education system, whether it's trying to change the system, but we have to take some form of responsibility and do something. Otherwise, the blame shifting will go not only from the government but from the followers. Like I said, many of the followers want change, but a couple of them, let me not say most, but a couple of them, if you corner them one side, their story will change. And we have seen this so many times. So we have to really want that change. For any revolution, all the people have to speak one voice and have one voice.
Sorry, gentlemen, I think some of us are not aware of Ganifa Imi, of all those people who fought government after government after government just to try to make the country better. Whenever Ganifa Imi floated the party, what he got as a presidential candidate for that party across the whole country was less than 4,000 people. So there's a system that is deliberately frustrating even the making of this country as a state. Yes.
I very much agree with you, Raji. Raji, thank you very much for what you just said now. And that's why we here on this network, we are telling Nigerians to stop much of any social media complaints, and let's begin to really look inward. We are now saying people should also criticize government constructively, look things well, and not just blab and say because it's all of us that will go down when we keep going this route. So Godwin, thank you for that very useful tip. George, thank you. So far on this discussion on the plane, the private jet that has been seized, the only person that has come out publicly among some of our leaders is Peter Obi, LP presidential candidate. He said, this presidential jet seizure is an international embarrassment. He says it shows government's failure and poor attitude to the rule of law, even in democracy. So, viewers, let's come back. This is what we're hearing now. Our country's presidential fleets, 3 of them, have been seized from a court order in France.
Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth, independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
George, Raji, Godwin, hope you guys are there. Yeah, so let's move on. George, you help us with this one. Donald Trump is asking the judge to delay his sentencing, the hush money case. He said they should delay after November election. That sounds ridiculous, but he's making these comments. George, is that what you're getting? Are you with that? Donald Trump.
Yeah. Well, Donald Trump will be Donald Trump, and he's trying to ensure that none of whatever that is happening is affecting him. So the lawyers are working hard to ensure that the New York sentencing does not happen. The case in Florida, they have been able to permanently close. The one in Washington D.C. about this thing. So I mean, when you have money, he's proven to be above the law, and it's not, from what we are seeing. If you have good lawyers, they can find loopholes, whereby you can either, be able to get away with it. Because one thing I can guarantee you, and I keep on saying this, which a lot of people don't understand, when you come to a country like Nigeria, there are things that we practice there where certain people consider themselves above the law. And this is exactly what you're seeing there in America. Let's just say, for instance, that it was Obama who is in the same case with Donald Trump. Where do you think he will be today while the case is going on? And this is one thing that you have to understand. There are some people that are above the law, and whether we like it or not, the law is there. There are three arms of government. And but in those three arms of government, there are certain people that are in certain positions who do not feel that they are under the law, they are above the law. And that's what you see. Bottom line to it, because if the skin color of this individual was different, you would have seen a different issue altogether. Like it or not, I grew up there, seen it all through my life before I moved to Canada. So that's what you're seeing right there.
Raji, do you agree? If the skin color...
I don't agree at all. In fact, I do not think that Trump is behaving as if he's above the law. If he was above the law, all the vendetta would have been quashed. If you are above the law, and I don't think that we should bring in a hypothetical case of a black skin under this arrangement. No, I don't think so. Donald Trump understands the American system and is playing the system against itself. Simple and short. He has been able to overcome all the vendetta against
it. So describe that American system for us, please. Describe it in plain words, so the general public will understand.
I don't know, but
no, you have to describe it so the general public will understand what you're saying.
Let me talk. Look at his tax situation, tax system. A man as rich as that is not paying taxes and is free because he understands the system. And the system, so he can play the system against himself. And he mentioned that himself. Yes.
Anyway, the Republican candidate for the presidential election, Donald Trump, is requesting that the judge in the New York hush money case postpone it until after November presidential election. Let's move on, guys. Thank you, George. Thank you, Raji. Our man, Russia is gone. There is a story would have wanted to hear from his side. But before, maybe he'll be back. Let's talk about U.S. approving a $5 billion Patriot missiles sales to Germany. I don't know if you guys know about the Patriot missiles. It's one very unique arms defense that the world have, and it's been done by America. United States contractors do produce that missile. It's there's a way they use it. It's very, very massive, real massive. Anyway, Germany has ordered for some to meet up with his own threats and whatever they're trying to defend, and America is making that sales $500 billion. But when we see things like this, guys, don't you think that the world somehow celebrates war and volatility, aggression? Go ahead, Raji.
It's very, very obvious. America is interested in selling arms, and therefore they will be meddlesome in every situation so that they'll be able to sell arms. Germany is not under any threat. Germany is not under any threat. In fact, Germany is not under it. It doesn't even have to arm itself. But America will have to twist the situation to such an extent that Germany will feel threatened. Germany is not under any threat. America just wants to sell these weapons.
The closest target for Russians, if there could be any wide-scale attack, could be Germany. You know, Germans stand.
Russia has no intention of attacking Germany. Germany has no intention.
No, we're just saying.
Hold on.
You can't just say. You can't just say. Germany has. Russia has no intention of attacking any country.
Okay. It's so interesting how we can sit in our homes and then begin to narrate to the world what a government is planning to do and what they're not planning to do. China is not going to take Taiwan, and then Russia is have no plans attacking Germany because you're in their cabinet. You know what is going on. You know all the intelligence that is coming. Therefore, you come to let us know. This is just say, in my opinion, that would be the best way for you to say. Don't say Russia have no plan of attacking Germany. You can't say that. You don't know what is going on behind.
I just said it.
No. You say Russia have no plan. You can't say that.
Yes, I've said it.
But if you say that, that is an assumption, which is the lowest form of communication. In my opinion, I don't think that Russia is planning to attack Germany. So just say that. Don't come and say, make a definite statement that you can never stand behind because you don't know what is going on behind. Just say, I don't think that Russia will attack. That's how you need to make that statement that way. Don't represent Russia because you're not with them. Neither are you going to represent Germany because you're not with them. We're only bringing the news. So what is this?
I went to night school. So thank you for the education.
It's okay. So what I'm saying is this. Number one is a strategic move. In the recent times, there has been a lot of threats going around. And those threats are simply because of who is supporting who and who are not supporting who. Now, if US is deciding to sell certain, ammunitions to Russia and to Germany, it is a strategic defense mechanism to prevent some of these bullying countries from expanding their territories by taking other smaller countries that they cannot be able to. Yes, indeed, US is doing it. They're selling these arms, and they're making money out of it. But you have to think about it from a diplomatic and a strategic geopolitical move to protect themselves, because you have to have base in certain area as a world power. Russia wants to do it. US is doing it. China also wants to do it. So when you see all these things, you see a place like India, they're rising up right now. If you go within Indian government, you see certain moves that they are making. They're trying to make sure that people that are surrounding them, that they don't have certain type of weapon, because whether you like it or not, Russia, China and India, they have been at clash in the sea, and it's been like constant provocation and open provocation. So, so when you see some of these things happen, yeah, what we see is $5 billion, dollars of missile going to Germany. But there has been discussion and certain strategic move in order to bring protection to the country itself and even to the country that is selling those weapons like US. Go ahead.
Can I make just a statement?
Okay.
Look,
Okay.
just before the Ukrainian unfortunate invasion, there was going to be very close economic relations between Russia and Germany, especially with the supply of gas, very, very cheap gas to Germany. America was afraid. America is afraid of economic fluidity between Russia and the Europeans, and therefore they have to bring in something to break it. And that is what America is doing: meddlesomeness and making sure that there's no peace even across Europe. So let them go on with their meddlesomeness and with their military-industrial complex. That they have a whole lot of ammunition they need to sell before they expire. So they have to look for a war somewhere, or a station somewhere, so they can sell their arms, and that's what is happening.
Well,
as far as I can see,
that's it. U.S. has approved that $5 billion Patriot missile, and they are selling to Germany. And we also know Germany is also a superpower. So for them to specifically want this brand of arms defense, then they know what they want. So
it's not as if they wanted it. America gave it to them. America sold it to them. So you need this thing. Yes, it's not that.
But you know, they are not Mugu, like they will say.
I understand that. I understand that.
Germans,
if they were not, as you said, if they were not Mughals, why are they now going after the Ukrainian diver who helped to blow up the pipeline between them and Russia? There was no intention. There was no intention on Germany's side to break that pipe.
That's the picture of the Patriot missile, viewers. If you're watching the screen now, it's a very advanced aerial interceptor missile, high performance radar system, and it's built in Alabama, a state in United States. It works. It's firework. That's one of the heavy machines for war. So, but we wish people would.
The decision is being made by the DSCA, the Defense Security Cooperation Agency is the one bringing this. Remember, Pentagon are the ones that understand the intelligence when it comes out, and sometimes they would even want some countries based on the intelligence. Like what was happening recently. I believe it was. When was this young lady wanted to perform was Taylor Swift. It was actually American intelligence that warned the country to let them know this is what is really happening. So sometimes when we are on top, we don't know what is happening under the ground and under the intelligence, because most of us, and sometimes they will not come out to tell you plainly what is going on because they don't want to destroy exactly the intelligence that they have received. They will just warn the country. So when you see this type of approval of warheads, this patriotic defense system, there are things that have gone beyond. America can just I mean, like, you can't take something, you can't take what, like Olayin Kareji was saying a few minutes ago. If you are married to a woman and then you know that your woman is very interested in a certain type of guy, would you now take take your woman to go, and then put in the lap of that particular person? Why
would I do that? I'll try to dress like that guy or be better than that guy. But just one more sentence. Sorry, just before 9/11, there was an audit going on in the Pentagon about how more than $1 trillion of defense contract could not be traced. A day or two later, a plane crashed into the audit department, accounting department of the Pentagon. the very location where the audit was going on, and that audit stopped. So I understand about the intelligence and all the things and how to curb it.
And this one now is conspiracy theory intelligence.
There's no
Thank you, guys.
conspiracy theory. Yes.
Let's move on. Let's move on, guys. While the rest of the world are protesting, most parts of the world are protesting for food, the economy. Now, something strange is happening in India, and that is also one of the major discussions today. Yes, Calcutta, a capital part of the West Bengal state of India. Doctors are protesting. Now, we're going to talk about this, guys. India is known as the rape capital of the world.
Yes.
There is rape going on they say there is a girl being raped every 45 minutes or something. I forgot that.
Every second.
So now this particular one is getting out of hand. Right now we're talking, there's protests going on in Calcutta. A 31-year-old doctor was found dead with multiple injuries all over her body. That was August the 9th, last week. And when the investigation was carried out, they found out that she was raped and killed. So, gentlemen, let's talk about that. It's terrible that India, as vast as they are with technology and all they try to do in the world, software engineering and all that. I mean, this rape thing is getting out of hand, and it doesn't look like the government is also addressing it. George, what did you hear about this? It's a protest going on now, there in Calcutta, and doctors are out, activists, everybody is out there on the streets protesting. Why will this young girl die like this? A lawyer, a new trainee doctor. George, what do you have on this?
Yeah, it is very, very sad. The young lady is being alleged to have, gone to sleep she finished her medical school and doing her services right now, just like what we do in Nigeria and some other places. And I went to sleep and then woke up in the morning. And the protest basically is saying that it wasn't only one individual that raped her, that it was a gang rape.
Oh.
They're saying that it is a gang rape. And this is really something that is so sad, where women are being taken as objects. I mean, we are in a world today, 2024. There are certain things that ought to be sacred to us. The respect that we have for women, especially a young lady like this. What business would a police officer or a police trainee have to go and rape this person if they don't think that they can do it and get away with it? And even to the point of killing the young lady. And now all of a sudden the whole India is on fire because many doctors are not working, and a lot emergency rooms are closed down. A lot of people are dying because of this, but they want the government to rise up and say, not only are we going to do this, make a stringent law, a strict law against rape in that country, that anybody, even if it is like, if you're found guilty, we're going to bring you out in the open. If you think that women are just objects like that, let's bring a firing squad situation to the people. Because if you feel like, you can get away with it, life for life. This is one thing that can deter people. But if you think the case will go on for so long, and after that, maybe they go in prison and they get fed and all that kind of stuff. I believe that certain things ought to be taken seriously. And especially when it comes to the abuse of women that are less physically powerful than us. Can you imagine the parents going through this? By the way, my condolences to the family of this young lady. We condemn such acts. It is intolerable and unacceptable.
Wow, George, you said a lot here. Very good words. Reggie.
I will agree with Sir George. My condolences to the family of that young lady. To know that the rape and killing happened in the hospital. That is what is troubling to me. That the rapists could gain easy access into into the location and do whatever they want to do. And it wasn't something they did in 10 minutes. They would have been there for a long time, and they were not found out. You know, the situation of raping in India is terrible. It's terrible, and it is not just in one area. It's almost across the whole
Yes,
India.
the whole
Across the whole
India.
India, it's terrible. Something drastic has to be done. There was a group of women who took it upon themselves to go after rapists, and they will go out. They will capture a rapist and almost beat him to death. But then it became. I don't think the group is still on, but that group should be
The
resuscitated
India
if they are no more
India is not doing well on that aspect.
at
Rape
all.
capital of the world, and also let's make it clear to our viewers. Please, if you have anything to do in India, you're a lady, please be careful.
Mm.
Yes, be careful. George has said some real good things here. It's nasty to have men you looking at women as object, and because they can overpower them. They do all of this. Women are human beings, they are God's creatures too, and we condone all of that. So our condolence to that family. They've lost their daughter now. Everybody's angry, and this is what we've been seeing repeatedly in India. So thank you, George. Thank you, Raji. Let's move on. Godwin is not here. There's a story saying that Ukraine is gaining more moves, advancing more. It says they have captured a Sudzha town in a region called Kursk. I don't know, Raji, are you following that?
Yeah, I'm following it like rumor, like rumor. It's when a person is dying, he
Mhm.
likes to clutch at all manner of straws. There's no way, there's no way Ukraine could make any dent in the structure of Russia. What is necessary is for a ceasefire and a negotiation for peace. Let there be peace in that area. All those meddlesome Americans who are encouraging the Ukrainians to fight to the last person, please stop it. I appeal to the Ukrainian people. Putin is ready to lay off arms, and look, he has achieved his aim. So
Hmm.
lay off your arms. Okay, let's talk. There's no reason for more carnage.
Reason for
There's
more
no reason for
carnage.
more carnage. Yeah.
George, but it's on the headlines in every
It
media
is all
room.
over it's all over the
Yes,
place, and it
Al
is it,
Jazeera.
it is
Yes.
it's
Mhm.
factual.
Yes.
It is true,
Yes.
and
Yes.
they have been making an incursion and moving forward and capturing certain areas, which is making the situation a little worse for Russia, because this is actually the first time they're entering into Russia territory themselves, and that's
Mm.
basically saying to them, okay, if you are taking some of ours and we're taking some of yours, that might balance the equation when negotiation begins, so that they can leave Russia, and then Ukraine will leave. Russia will leave Ukraine or turn back the cities that they have captured. So what you're seeing is a little bit of a dynamic change to the whole entire thing, and I believe it's as a result of the weapons that they received recently that is causing this. So
Because
I think if Ukraine continues to make this progress, we
Mhm.
might be seeing two things that might happen. Number one is Russia might get so aggressive to the point of wanting to wipe away everything, using nuclear weapon, or they might decide, okay, let's just go ahead and negotiate. We'll turn some cities that we have captured back to you, and you
Mhm.
give us back our own.
Mhm.
And I think to me personally, I like what is going on right now, because that war was not well balanced, simply because
Yep.
originally there are some limitations to what Ukraine can do, but it seems that those limitations are being lifted right now, so they can make incursion into Russia, and that is really very painful for the Emperor of Russia, uh, uh, our brother.
you know, you know,
Emperor
you
of
know, you know,
Russia.
as,
Excuse me,
sorry,
Emperor
Emperor.
of Russia. Putin.
Sorry, Mark. Sorry, you mentioned earlier that it seems as if the world is very happy when there's strife and tribulation, when there's war, and then people will get vibrated. It is whatever Ukraine is doing, incursions is doing. It's like a gnat, a small ant penetrating somewhere and thinking that it has a big member that is going to make some effect. It is nothing.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever, have you ever worn a certain tight shoe, and then all of a sudden your smallest toe have a little bit of bunion, whatever, on it, and then what does it do to your whole entire body when you're trying to walk? And
it is a minor discomfort that you can easily ease out.
You gotta take off your shoes.
It's a minor discomfort. It is a minor discomfort.
Listen, thank you. I want to thank you guys. Today, we really did some good insights into the news. George, you were blowing. Thank you, Raji. Raji brought a very strong one. So, thank you guys. This is it, viewers. Today, we've come, we've conquered, we've checked in. So we're following the news. The French court thing and our private jet president is still on. Today, there are still more deliberations on it in the court and all that, because the federal government is putting out some resistance. But now we have been embarrassed internationally. A pidgin English statement says, after disgrace, waiting remain. They've messed us up. So,
but
any resistance you're pulling up after disgrace.
I want to say that court judgment was not fair to Nigeria. It's not fair.
But George was telling us that we went into an agreement with China.
No, it was not a loan agreement.
We didn't read the terms of agreement.
It was not a loan agreement. It was a free trade zone. It was no loan. We did not take any money from them.
But we did taking our plane.
Ogun State did not take any money.
After disgrace,
it is not fair.
Gentlemen.
No.
Why would the court now say that they have authority to seize those planes? The court decided. It's not men that decided. So remember, I said this to you. Hold on,
it's a small local court.
China will come and do business with you. They will never tap that contract in English. They will only tap it in their own language, and they will explain to you and leave certain gray areas. They will leave certain gray areas when explaining what they have written. You go ahead.
I don't think that could happen. I don't think that could happen with any sensible Nigerian government. That you will not have a Chinese interpreter on your own team to interpret the legal details of the contract. No, I don't think it happens.
We are
not that remote.
You understand China and their strategies,
But you see, we Africans should be very careful about that infrastructure trap. We are always talking about building infrastructure. Which infrastructure? Let us live within our means. So many of those infrastructures are useless to us. What is the use of taking a loan to build a 700-kilometer road for 15 trillion that will not yield any returns on investment? That is a waste. What's the point in taking loans to build roads? It is madness. Because yes, because if you are not tolling the road, enough for it to pay back the loan within 5 years, within 10 years the road is bad, and you are still paying on the loan, it is madness. We should forget all this. Be careful of this infrastructure trap, of this economic trap, loan trap that we go into.
All right, guys.
We should live within our means.
Let's meet on Monday.
Yes.
And let's continue more of this. Thank you, viewers.
All right.
Have a beautiful day. God bless you.
And have a nice weekend.
Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve.